Morning, Dan. Yes, I am in a hyperbaric chamber in Rugby, just up the road from you. This is the Midlands Diving Chamber. Normally used, of course, for treating divers who've got the bends. It delivers pure oxygen under high pressure. And here they have just been starting to use it for people with long COVID. So obviously the symptoms of long COVID include breathlessness, fatigue, brain fog, and what this does is deliver oxygen under high pressure to all the organs of the body, and it's been having really amazing results. Long COVID is an absolutely massive problem now in the UK. They reckon more than 1 million people have got it. So what is being done? We have been to a COVID rehabilitation centre in Leatherhead in Surrey to find out.
When Jocelyn Alpas left hospital last year, she had no idea just how long it would take to recover.
Even just to talk was an effort for me. Even just to stand, I was really breathless, very short of breath, even at rest. I was so frail, I was so ill, I was so extremely vulnerable, really.
Jocelyn is not alone. This is Raj Metkar leaving intensive care.
Bye, Raj.
I could not stand. My foot would just drop. There wasn't strength. I could not stand. After closing my eyes, everything, body would just shake.
Doing so well. I'm done.
I never imagined I had to learn to re-walk.
Yeah, oh, good. Well done.
COVID left Raj with long-lasting problems.
Damage to the kidney, damage to the heart, and neurological damage into my legs. I still have to walk with the walking stick.
Jocelyn and Raj have become friends. They were on the same ward at Epsom Hospital in Surrey.
Yes, they get along here.
Staff at the hospital quickly realised patients would need significant help with so-called long COVID. There are now more than 1 million people in the UK suffering long-term after-effects of the virus.
I've seen it described as the pandemic after the pandemic. I think long COVID is undoubtedly an umbrella term for lots of different conditions. Ongoing fatigue, breathlessness, lots of impact on patients' mental health, problems with sleep, sometimes cardiac issues, and a whole range of different symptoms.
An exercise class, just part of the rehab programme run by the Epsom and St Helier Hospital Trust.
To come here, it opened my mind to see how young people were. You've got young, they look really fit. You've got my age, 50-odd, but, you know, the different ages. This virus takes anyone. It will take anyone as a prisoner.
Bernie became seriously ill at Christmas.
Long COVID has taken all my confidence in the sense that I've been so frightened to jog, I've been so frightened to even walk. My other half had to hold me physically to walk up to the end of the road, and I thought, come on, Bernie, you know, you've jogged 5K, why can't you do this?
So lots of people tell us about feeling anxious, perhaps a bit low in mood.
The impact of long COVID is not just physical. A key part of the programme here is a regular mental health session.
So when I woke up from ECMO, I couldn't move a muscle, so the physios have worked absolute wonders on me.
Hayley's just 31. She's a teaching assistant and also became ill in December last year.
Although it has been hard to get back, and there has been sort of the mental health side of things with the anxiety and the health anxiety about worrying about getting it again and things like that, I am also looking forward to just normality.
The rehab programme runs for 6 weeks at a time. They've seen improvements in breathlessness, fatigue, mental health, quality of life. Bernie is a police sergeant, and she's just back at work.
So if you're a criminal in Croydon and the surrounding area, watch out, Bernie's about.
Well, she's getting there. She's coming back with a vengeance. She's getting there.
A year after they left hospital, Jocelyn and Raj are also on the mend.
My mum cries every time she speaks with me because she knows what I have gone through. And it's difficult whenever I talk to them. It is emotional thing for me. But they have just helped me come out of it. They are my family now.
Jocelyn is a junior sister at the hospital where she caught COVID and eventually became a patient. This programme was set up by her colleagues in the first place, specifically to help her.
I'm really proud of being the reason why they set up this COVID rehab program. And after 6 weeks of rehab, intense exercise, I was able to walk on my own. Can you imagine? I was so happy.
It's been a long road for Raj and Jocelyn. Some may never fully recover. But Jocelyn is now back at work on the respiratory ward at Epsom Hospital, once again helping people to fight this virus.
Well, I'd like to say thanks very much to both Jocelyn and Raj and everyone in Leatherhead. Quite a difficult thing to talk about this, and they did it rather brilliantly, I thought. The government says it is pumping an extra £100 million into the treatment of people with long COVID, but the Royal College of GPs, those kind of organisations, say they really need to keep on top of this because this is a problem that is going to get worse as time goes on. So, back in the hyperbaric chamber, with me is Dr. Timothy Robbins, who's behind this project. Timothy, just explain to me, if you can, how this helps patients with long COVID.
So the patients with long COVID come to the chamber for 10 days. They breathe in high pressure, breathe under pure oxygen under high pressure, and we've seen some really quite transformational results from that.
Yeah, so what kind of things have you seen?
So we've seen patients who we see in clinic who are unable to work, they're unable to drive, they're unable to benefit or work with their family. They have the treatment and they come out absolutely transformed and absolutely delighted with the treatment they've been able to benefit from.
Yeah, so walking and running again and that kind of thing?
So there's been some sports people who've come in who've really struggled beforehand and be able to go back to playing professional sports. Professional drivers who've not been allowed to drive due to the severity of the symptoms, they can go back to work. And people in office jobs who are so fatigued they can't actually work in the office and are actually able to go back to their employment and their livelihood, which is so important to them.
Yes, Timothy, thank you very much indeed for that. Well, we'll be having more from here, and we'll be speaking to one of the patients who has used this chamber later on in the programme.